What modern-day social movement most strongly resonates with you?
Modern day social movement. Wow, there are a lot of options there.
Yeah.
Equal rights and primarily like the Middle East. So like environmentalism, caring for our planet.
I would say either environmental conservation or gay rights movement.
I think the one that most strongly resonates isn't necessarily a single movement, but the intersection of the social justice and climate movement, which we're seeing in the past few years, because it's a recognition that all of these issues are connected and that you can't really separate them and try and fix one thing without fixing the whole problem.
Well, right now with school and everything, I'm really busy, and I just don't have the time or energy to put myself completely into a social movement, so I don't really actively conform.
I'm pretty interested in education reform.
Fossil fuel divestment. What's cool about fossil fuel divestment is that every single person in the entire United States is connected to this campaign because everybody is part of an institution. If it's a city, state, religious, or collegiate community institution, and they're all invested in the fossil fuel corporations. Thank you.
Probably, I've been talking a lot about femininity in my feminist critical theory class, talking a lot about that. So, just like breaking the gender roles and the binaries is something that I've been thinking a lot about recently.
That's probably. I'm pretty pissed about the fact that people don't want gay marriage.
Strongly resonates with me. As a proud supporter of the gay community, I would say that the fight for legalization of equal marriage strongly resonates. The fact that they just legalized it in Illinois, I'm very proud of. My home state of Indiana is currently working on legalization of it. I don't think it's going to happen just because they're a bunch of rednecks.
Would you go to jail for this movement? How long?
Absolutely. I guess if it got personal, I would probably go to jail. But if it was in like the broader sense, I probably wouldn't.
Personally, no.
Hypothetically, yes. I mean, I wouldn't want to be paying the state money in terms of fees for jail, but if the time and place was there where going to jail would actually advance a cause and not just be a feel-good, let's all get arrested, then yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I would.
Depends what part of the movement or how far the movement is. Right now, no. They don't need my arrest. It wouldn't really push the movement on UVM's campus farther, but maybe in a year from now or at the end of my college semester, and the Board of Trustees and UVM refuses to acknowledge fossil fuel divestment and or says no to fossil fuel divestment, then there is talk about acts of civil disobedience. And yes, I guess I would get arrested at another time for my...
No, probably not right now, but if I learn more about it, yeah.
Potentially. I like the idea of activism a little bit more because I'm a history major, so my favorite decade is the 60s, so you always hear about everyone getting like put in jail and stuff for that, and I think I like the idea of being activist more than actually being an activist, but I would do it.
What do you consider to be a radical activist action?
I mean, there's a lot of eco-terrorism things you can do. You can mess up machinery, you can change work sites, stuff like that.
Anything that takes rights away from other people. Like, I guess intruding on someone else's ways and being a little bit burdensome to them.
I would say trespassing or defacing someone else's property to try and convey a message would be a pretty extreme act.
Simply to take direct action and at the sources of these problems, whether that results in shutting down a extreme energy extraction site or occupying the office of a company or a politician who is supporting this kind of energy extraction. It can be a variety of things.
Protesting to the point of being arrested.
I think the way our student climate culture group kind of bombarded the trustees meeting, I consider that pretty radical.
The whole concept of radical is skewed here because what's really radical is the big oil companies radically destroying our climate and environment. That's radical. No environmental action can be radical more than causing climate change. I guess radical is property destruction and civil disobedience. Anything else really isn't radical in my opinion.
Probably something that results in jail time.
Maybe just actually protesting as opposed to being like a more of a passive action. Like the things that I do now I think are more passive rather than radical, but I think that you have to be more informed in order to do a radical like movement.
What do you do on a daily basis that would be considered pro-environment?
Eat candy that's has no chemicals in it.
I recycle, I buy organic and free range and all of that. I buy local.
Well, UVM likes to recycle, so I stay in the UVM recycling routine.
I'm active in my community, trying to cause change, and bringing the change that I see in the world. I try to be the change that I want to see in the world. I bring my own cloth bag to supermarkets, and I eat local.
I would say I ride my bike to schools, and more often than drive my car. I clean up trash if I see it. I try and turn off all the lights if I can. You know, just the simple.
And how radical are you willing to be for the environment?
I'm willing to not be, as radical as I'm willing to be, is like going to protests and so forth, but not doing anything that would infringe upon any others, like free speech or other rights.
Not very radical.
I think you gotta earn the respect of the people you're trying to talk to, and sometimes I feel like radical movements just breed that respect, and they look down on it as a childish movement. So I think you have to work within the system and figure out the way our government is structured within that.
I can't disclose that information over the video.
Pretty relatively radical. I'm not much of a radical person, so in that aspect I'd say I would more write about it than be an activist, but that's just me.
As radical as it takes.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Word.
Thanks.